That song was so scandalous it almost got a popular TV show canceled. That's what happened when one of 1971's biggest one-hit wonders appeared on the Lawrence Welk Show. The producers had no idea they just broadcast a drug anthem to millions of American homes. From songs that sounded innocent but promoted drug use to tunes that radio stations played without understanding their true meaning, 1971 was filled with musical Trojan horses. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video, the Cannibal Song that fooled radio DJs. When Timothy by the Boys hit the airwaves in 1971, it climbed to number 17 on the Billboard charts with its catchy guitar riff and upbeat tempo. What most listeners and radio DJs missed was that they were happily singing along to a song about cannibalism. The lyrics tell the story of 3 miners trapped after a collapse. 2 of them survive, but their friend Timothy mysteriously disappears. The chilling line, "Timothy, where on earth did you go?" takes on a whole new meaning when you realize they ate him. Songwriter Rupert Holmes created this disturbing tale deliberately. The band's label was about to drop them, so Holmes crafted something controversial to generate attention. Many artists in 1971 used this same trick, hiding shocking themes behind pleasant melodies that radio stations would play without question. The organ-driven breakup anthem. While the Boys were singing about cannibalism, Lee Michaels was creating a different kind of musical illusion. His 1971 hit, "Do You Know What I Mean?" reached number 6 on the Billboard charts with its bouncy, energetic organ riff. The upbeat tempo masks what the song is actually about, crushing heartbreak and abandonment. Michaels was known for his virtuoso Hammond organ skills, and his minimalist band setup consisted of just himself on keyboard and a drummer. This stripped-down arrangement created a raw, powerful sound that perfectly disguised the song's melancholy message. This clever musical misdirection, pairing sad lyrics with upbeat music, became a signature move of early 70s pop, making painful emotions more commercially digestible. Many other artists of 1971 used similar tricks to sneak uncomfortable themes into the mainstream. The Xrated Novelty Hit. In 1971, a peculiar novelty song with a childish chant became an unlikely hit. Chickaboom, Don't You Jesses Love It by Daddy Dewdrop reached number 9 on Billboard, catching listeners with its playful melody. But this innocent-sounding tune was hiding something. Behind the Daddy Dewdrop persona was Dick Monda, a respected studio musician and songwriter who had worked with mainstream artists like the Carpenters. Monda created this alter ego specifically to record a song filled with sexual innuendos he couldn't release under his own name. This formula, using childlike presentation to disguise adult content, became a winning strategy for other artists of the era too. The Feminist Anthem disguised as R&B. When Gene Knight recorded Mr. Big Stuff at Mississippi's Malaco Studios for just $1,000, nobody expected it would become an anthem for the women's liberation movement. The catchy R&B track had people dancing in 1971, but its message was revolutionary. Behind that infectious groove was a bold statement of female empowerment. Knight wasn't playing nice with male ego. She confidently dismissed unwanted advances and questioned a man's arrogance, something rarely heard in pop music at the time, especially from a black female artist. Psychedelic Breakfast Song from Australia. While Gene Knight challenged male egos, an Australian duo called Tin Tin took a different approach with their dreamy hit, Toast and Marmalade for Tea. This seemingly innocent song about breakfast somehow floated its way to number 20 on the Billboard charts in 1971, leaving listeners wondering what they were really hearing. The song's hazy quality wasn't accidental. Morris Gibb of the Bee Gees produced it, building from a simple piano melody to a crescendo of instruments that created a psychedelic atmosphere. What made the song so successful was its beautiful ambiguity. The dreamy production and simple lyrics about toast and marmalade created a canvas where listeners could project their own meanings, making it appealing to both mainstream radio audiences and the counterculture alike. The Love Ballad with a dark undercurrent. In 1971, the free movement created what sounded like a beautiful love song with "I've Found Someone of My Own." This 8-member vocal group from Los Angeles crafted a ballad that reached number 5 on the Billboard charts, winning hearts with its lush orchestration and smooth harmonies. But listen closely to the lyrics and you'll notice something uncomfortable. This isn't a celebration of new love, it's a confession of infidelity. The song actually describes leaving one relationship for another, detailing the emotional complications of a love triangle. This song perfectly captured the changing attitudes of the early 1970s, when divorce rates were rising and traditional ideas about marriage were being questioned across America. The country crossover that celebrated breaking the law. Before When You're Hot, You're Hot topped both country and pop charts in 1971. Jerry Reed was already respected in Nashville for his guitar skills. He had written songs for Johnny Cash and played sessions for Elvis Presley, but this novelty hit changed everything. The song tells the story of a man who gets a speeding ticket, bribes a judge, and then gambles with him in court. These serious crimes, speeding, bribery, corruption, are all played for laughs. Reed's charismatic good old boy delivery makes breaking the law seem charming instead of criminal. Americans in 1971 were growing distrustful of authority. The Vietnam War was deeply unpopular, and the Watergate scandal was approaching. Reed's celebration of rural rule-breaking perfectly captured this mood, turning illegal behavior into entertainment that topped the charts. The deceptively upbeat plea for relationship survival. While some hits in 1971 celebrated breaking the law, Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds created something entirely different with Don't Pull Your Love. The Los Angeles soft rock trio crafted a song that sounded upbeat with its bouncy horn section and catchy chorus, but the lyrics tell another story entirely. Listen past those cheerful trumpets and you'll find a man desperately begging his partner not to leave him. The song is essentially a plea for relationship survival wrapped in an energetic package. This emotional contrast makes the song much more complex than your typical pop hit. The country ballad that scandalized Nashville. In 1971, Sammy Smith took Chris Christopherson's song, Help Me Make It Through the Night, and transformed it into something revolutionary. Her smoky vocals earned her a Grammy and crossover success, but many country radio stations initially refused to play it. The song shocked Nashville because it featured a woman openly inviting a man to spend the night with her. In the conservative world of country music in 1971, this was practically scandalous. Smith's emotional delivery made the lyrics even more powerful, turning them into a statement about female sexual agency. The spiritual drug anthem that fooled, Lawrence Welk. Perhaps the most remarkable example of a song's meaning being completely misunderstood happened with One Toke Over the Line by Brewer and Shipley. This folk rock hit reached number 10 on Billboard in 1971, despite, or maybe because of, its obvious marijuana references. The song created a perfect storm when it appeared on The Lawrence Welk Show, America's bastion of wholesome entertainment. The hosts introduced it as a modern spiritual, completely missing that one toke referred to smoking marijuana. The songwriters never hid what their song was about, making the misinterpretation even more remarkable. These forgotten hits of 1971 show us how music was changing right alongside society. Look past the rose-colored glasses of nostalgia, and you'll find songs about cannibalism, drug use, and sexual freedom all hiding in plain sight on the radio. These one-hit wonders weren't just catchy tunes. They were Trojan horses sneaking controversial ideas into America's living rooms when the country was deeply divided. What better way to introduce challenging ideas than through melodies people couldn't help but sing along to? Music has always been one of our most powerful tools for social change. A good hook can make radical ideas feel familiar before we even realize what we're singing about.